Alright, this is A Fraud in Japan, Volume 3, the Subliminal Verses. I was pleasantly surprised with the success of the first two videos I made. We got a lot of good comments, some crazy people, but we also got a lot of people supporting us, and people who want to know the truth about Japan, so that's nice to know. This one is a critique of his videos 11 to 15. I really have nothing else to say, so I'm just going to go ahead and start the video. Episode 11, Japanese. 3 essential phrases you should know. 3 phrases? Now how am I supposed to remember all this knowledge? This is his first list of his 257,000 lists about Japan videos. 3 kinds of gyoza you should eat on a Friday night. 18 Japanese women who wouldn't have sex with me. 47 embarrassing times at the onsen. His first phrase is so desu ne. This is particularly funny to me because our friend Jeremy would always say this. Oh, so. Shout out to Chief Zane, by the way. Great guy. He tells a story about how he once talked to a Japanese man for 40 minutes and only said this one phrase because at the time he didn't speak Japanese, and that was the only phrase he knew. Why were you having a conversation in a language you didn't know? Yeah, my wife just passed away. Oh, so desu ne. Yeah, the cancer spread through her body faster than they thought it would. By the time the doctors caught it, it was already too late. Oh, so desu ne. When first learning Japanese, foreigners always say this phrase, and it's kind of funny to me now as someone who can speak Japanese. I know talking to the camera is hard, especially when you have to memorize a lot of lines, and it's annoying when you flub up and have to redo the whole thing. But this whole video, he has made so many errors and just left them in. But then he cuts. I'm assuming to redo some lines, but he messes them up again. Also, the guy you were talking to didn't think you were good at Japanese. When they say, oh, Nihongo Jozu, to us, they're mocking us. It's like if an Asian was like, hello, and you go, oh, wow, you're so good at speaking English. I hear this from foreigners living in Japan a lot, especially from coworkers I've had. Yeah, I went to a bar, I tried speaking Japanese, we were having a conversation that I couldn't understand. And then they said, I have good Japanese. I'm like, do you really think so? I don't even know that many words. I think this is why they think we can't read the air, because we, I guess, believe them when they say this to us. I like his Japanese accent. Foreigners always Asian up their Japanese when they first start learning Japanese. He looks so smug when he said so desu ne, though. Like, go look at his face. He's like, yeah, I fucking nailed that. 2. Otsukare-sama desu. Yeah, this is a key phrase they use at work. I think he mystifies it a bit too much here, though. It's acknowledging that everyone's playing their role. Everyone's playing their part in a bigger picture. Everyone's contributing to society. This sounded so stupid as I was typing it out. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Sometimes he just makes things up about Japan like this. Also, it's just a work phrase. Like, Japan just likes phrases. It's just a cultural thing. I don't think Japanese people get as worked up as foreigners do about this. Oh my God, they're such lovely people. They said you've worked hard today. It's just so touching to me. Oh my God. They don't think of it that way. That's just a phrase. Also, I don't like this phrase because, as we all know, a lot of Japanese people don't work hard, so I feel like they don't deserve an otsukare. In America, you earn a job well done. In Japan, it's given to you regardless of if you did anything or not. He says, I live in a government building. Okay, I thought you just lived in a standard first year in Japan gaijin apartment. So I was very confused by that. And then there's more strange cuts in this video. 3. Kore wa pen desu. This phrase means, this is a pin. He says, and for many people learning Japanese, they never seem to go much further in terms of Japanese skills. As for me, I can now say, this is a pencil and mountain of fried chicken, please. Was he high when he made this video? In the last 14 months, like, he fucks up so many lines and just leaves them in and just doesn't give a fuck. It's really bizarre. This one in particular caught me off guard. I was like, you couldn't have redone that one? Then he's talking about his upcoming videos and says, I have a video about memorizing things. Bro, you can't even memorize your lines for this 4-minute video. Although maybe he hadn't seen his upcoming video yet, so he didn't know how to memorize the lines. I don't know. Episode 12, KFC Christmas Japan. A delicious alternative reality. That'd be hilarious if he actually did write after that. He sounds so sick in this video. Maybe he got sick over Christmas, or maybe it's all the fried chicken he ate. I liked his joke about the bright Christmas lights. I like his jokes that are one little, like, bleh. I hate his jokes that are him rambling, and you can't tell if it's a joke or not. For instance, I liked his "why won't this cup just work" joke from, I think, video 2. This Christmas lights joke was kind of the same as that one. Who is this woman in the video looking at shirts? She's probably a coworker or something, but I like to think that he just walked up to some random woman with a camera and said, "You should definitely buy it." He is obsessed with dictators in North Korea. Possibly British humor? I don't know. This wasn't a bad video. Even his jokes were somewhat passable. Next. Episode 13. How to memorize Japanese effortlessly. Anki. I know you have a system here, but effortlessly, that's stretching it a little bit. You still have to put in some effort to speak Japanese and read and listen and, build up all your skills. So I don't know about effortlessly. This video was also fine. It's probably a good way to learn Japanese. I think the ultimate way to learn Japanese is to get a basic understanding with the Genki books, which it looks like he did. Then read manga and watch movies in Japanese with Japanese subtitles. That way you can see the words and hear the words at the same time. I wouldn't recommend anime because I don't like the goofy anime voices they always do, and sometimes the audio quality is not super great on those. At least for the older ones. And then as far as writing kanji and learning kanji, I would recommend just writing in a notebook over and over and over and over again. That seemed to work for me when I lived in America. It's a different story if you live in Japan, though. And if possible, talk in Japanese to Japanese people, because you really need to boost your listening skills. That's probably the hardest thing there is to learning Japanese. Ironically, this is easier to do in America, especially if you go to a college, than it is in Japan. The hardest part with learning Japanese is getting access to the material. Like, if you live in America, you're not going to have access to Japanese manga. Maybe some anime, I guess if you have Netflix or something. And there's not a lot of Japanese people to hold conversations with, like let's say if you live in the Midwest or something like that. But then when you move to Japan, you have more access, but nobody wants to talk to you, and you're going to be so tired from teaching English all day, every day, that, at least for me, I just resented the country, and I just associated with Japanese language, with Japan, with my bad life, which made it so I didn't want to study or even read manga at some point. So, really, there's no way we can win at this unless you force yourself to learn the language, which what I'm hearing recently is not a lot of people who move to Japan actually do that. And if possible, I know it's difficult, get a Japanese girlfriend and speak Japanese with her, not English. That's a good way to keep up your skills with language learning. And in the bed. Also, ironically, easier to do in America. And last of all, you do not have fake conversations with Japanese people. No, where are you from? No, why you in Japan? You fucking force them, if necessary, to hold real conversations with you. And don't be flattered by any bullshit. Oh, you so good. Japanese, great. Japanese isn't a hard language to learn, but it is going to take a lot of effort, especially up front, if you want to get good at it. A lot of people find that daunting and they give up, but if you really want to live here, you should learn the language. Episode 14. Japanese Thoughts on British Snacks. In this video, he walked through the snow to his friend's barber shop. I guess this is his friend Natsuki and his girlfriend. He said her name, but I was like, who the fuck are these people? Well, why are you in a barber shop? To be honest, this whole video was really weird. So he gives one Japanese man a bag of chips and one thing of chocolate. The woman in the video really looked uncomfortable. She was like, please don't film me. Abroad in Japan, you dirty dog. You distracted this man with chocolates, then filmed his girl on the sly. Come on now. He's probably going to watch the... Actually, no, he's probably not going to watch the video. There's really not much to comment on here. He only gave 2 Japanese people 2 snacks, so the title is a little misleading. Also, is this the original Takashi? What do you think of British snacks? Oh, they're good. Oh, okay. Also, how do we know they're not just being nice? Like, chips and chocolate are going to taste good, but are they really going to go, no, this Brit chalk ain't shit. I'm a goner for life, motherfucker. Actually, that might make a good finger tattoo. Ghana for life. I'll think about it. Abron Japan gets a Yakuza-style back tattoo of the Cadbury cream eggs. That'd be kind of funny. Oh, or better yet, get tea and crumpets. They're like, sir, you can't enter the own. Same with a tattoo. He's like, it's just tea and crumpets. Also, this video ended abruptly. It was very awkward. Also, something I've noticed is so far in almost every video, he talks about gaining weight or losing weight. Sometimes even in the same video, like he'll talk about walking so much as like, I'm losing so much weight. And in the same video, he's like, I'm eating chips all day, every day, so I'm gaining so much weight. And I'm pretty sure coming up, he's going to talk about weight loss. So, I don't know. All I want to say is, I feel you, bro. It's tough. Losing weight, especially in Japan. There's not a lot of healthy food here, so I get you, man. I understand your pain. Episode 15. Visiting Japan. 5 reasons it'll be awesome. Number 5. Japanese marketing. Hey, why did you buy a $2,000 plane ticket to Japan? I heard the marketing there was amazing. I guess foreigners would like seeing cartoon characters on signs instead of real people. Like, Japan always has, like, cartoon women on signs and shit. Or weird, like, animals. Like, my brother's in Japan right now, and he keeps sending me Snapchats of, like, cartoon women on the trains with, like, a train uniform on or something like that. It's all stuff I've seen a million times, but probably back when I didn't live here and was just traveling, it would have been cool to see that kind of stuff, because it's a little different than America. But I think in this video, he was like, wow, there's so many billboards in Tokyo. Like, that's amazing. As if there's not billboards in, like, every city around the world. Number 4. Japanese nightlife. You can sing karaoke at a bar. Yeah, I did that in America, too. Number 3. Cultural Galapagos and Cat Wonderland. But actually, the nightlife here stinks. The last train in Osaka is around midnight. And if you live in another city like Kyoto, possibly before 11 p.m. I always joke that you go to Shinsaibashi at night and see all the tourists with the same look on their faces. Where's the fun at? I was told this is the nightlife capital of Japan. Half of them are like, let's keep looking. Let's keep looking. There's got to be something around here. And the other half are like, let's just go back to the hotel. It's 3 a.m. There's nothing to do. We're already drunk. I'm tired. I just want to get some sleep. No, come on, man. There's supposed to be fun out here. Back to number 3, Cultural Galapagos and Cat Wonderland. I want to make a one-time apology to Abron Japan. After seeing your Japanese ex, your Canadian girlfriend is an upgrade for sure. Number 2, Edible Art. I'm a little disappointed. I thought he would talk about edible art in this one. I was like, that sounds kind of cool. I want to eat the Mona Lisa pussy. But then he shows a couple of plates of food. Japanese food is good, but edible art? If he was going to call it this, he could have at least showed, like, their actual edible art. Like, sometimes they'll make curry rice that looks like Pikachu or something. But he didn't show that, which is weird because, I mean, that'd be really good for clickbait, so I don't know why this one was confusing. He says my favorite Japanese food is ramen, which is Chinese, but I'll let it slide. Actually, if you say that to Japanese people, they will correct you and say it's Chinese, which is weird because they never admit anything. But ramen being Chinese and not Japanese is something I guess maybe they're forced to admit by law. I don't know. But Japanese ramen is, well, let me rephrase that. Chinese ramen is just bad. So Japanese ramen is better. As a side note, one thing they will not admit to is tempura is not Japanese. I've gotten into arguments with people. It is Portuguese, but they don't believe it. And then you pull up Wikipedia and you show them and they go, oh, shit, there's a kanji and everything. I thought it was Japanese. Which doesn't necessarily mean anything. Kanji's also Chinese, so why would there being kanji mean it's Japanese? That doesn't make any sense. Actually, most Japanese food is fried, like fried chicken, fried pork. It's not healthy, but damn, is it tasty. If Japanese food wasn't so good, I probably would have left Japan my first year living here. But as horrible as life is in Japan for a foreigner, the food is equally as good. So, you really weigh your options. Not that American food is bad, like this man, every time I go back I eat delicious food, but sometimes you go like, I would miss this, or I would miss this alcohol, or this, whatever. So you really struggle to move back. Number 1, people. Japanese people are very hospitable and nice here. But try to get hospitality or niceness when you live here. Japanese people can sniff out who's a tourist and who lives here. I always say they can tell the difference by tourists are people looking up with happy faces. People who live here are looking down with sad faces. Which was weird because when my dad was here, they really didn't know how to talk to us. They would treat us like tourists, but then I would start talking, and then they would start treating us poorly. But then my dad would start talking, and they were like, oh, maybe they are tourists. So that was kind of funny to see from my perspective. I wonder if he would still say this 12 years later. Probably not. But this video is for visiting Japan. So, yeah, I guess he's right. In conclusion, I don't know how I feel about this one. He didn't say anything wrong, like Japan is a safe country, or it's a pleasure and a privilege to teach these bastards. And these 5 videos were okay. He kind of toned down the comedy, which was nice. Each video was a bit generic, though, and kind of short. Come to Japan, it'll be great. You could drink and sing karaoke. Anything else? Here's a video I took of someone singing karaoke. But he couldn't help himself. He had to put in some weird jokes that were like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And to be honest, is karaoke that fun? Like, yeah, it's here, but who fucking cares? I really just want to get to the 12 things to not do in Japan style videos. But it's about the journey, not the destination. So I gotta watch each video. I hope it picks up a little bit. And I hope we get George back. What the hell happened to George? Did he trade him in for an ugly bitch? Bring back George.